This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Geek Speak, the definitive 365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome to the 365 Flicks podcast. This is Indie Talk. This is episode 125, and I am Kevin, the pissy ex-video store clerk, and the man next to me is not here. Why? Chris, where are you? Chris! Yeah, Chris bailed on this one. This is another Indie Talk where I am all on my lonesome interviewing some absolutely solid, wonderful guys. This is Indie Talk. I will be talking very shortly to Richard Oakes and Adam Leaders, the co-founders and runners and sing the theme tune, write the theme tune guys behind Dark Fable Media. Dark Fable Media is a production company that does a lot of short films, a lot of musical videos, and they are currently prepping for two feature films themselves. Richard has done a lot of DOPing on other films. Some of those films are the likes of Marc Zammits' Homeless Ashes, which we are dying to see. A little bit of news about that in a moment. He also was the cinematographer on the movie 24 Little Hours, which Paul Knight's movie. Everybody, you remember Paul Knight? We had him on the show a little while back. But these guys were super awesome, and the reason I mainly wanted to get them on was to talk about these projects, but also to talk about their YouTube channel. Yes, they have a YouTube channel called Dark Fable Media, in which they sort of pull back the curtain a little bit on some of your DOP, your cinematographer techniques, tips and tricks of the trade. They give you little tutorials, they compare cameras, they compare shots, compare all these different kind of things. These two guys are going to give you all of the information, but guess what? They don't just sit there and go, hello, this is the camera that I want you to use. These guys are so cool. Like, their chemistry, it knows no bounds. The two of them really play well off each other. You always get a little bit of a chuckle when you're watching these things. And then at the end of these videos, you get a short movie that the guys have made. Each and every video, they give you a short movie showing you, yes, you at home, how it can be done, which is what Indie Talk's all about. It's why we do these episodes. We get people on their way up, people who are trying to make their way, people who have projects, people who are passionate about what they are doing, and they want to tell people about them, and we want to tell people about them, so we get them on the show to talk about these projects that they are passionate about. That's what we're all about. We just want to help, and before we get into all that, we have a little bit of pimpage and a little bit of news. Obviously, Chris isn't here. Chris normally does the pimpage, so I guess I'm going to have to take over on that. So bear with me, please. Bear with me for 2 seconds, because this could go horribly wrong. 365 Flicks Podcast, that is us, the people you are listening to. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher. You can find us on Libsyn. You can find us on any third-party podcasting app that you get your podcasts on. Just type in 365 Flicks Podcast. You will find us right there. We are the best guys out there, so we'll be top of the page. And also, when you are there, do us a favour, because it's one thing to sit and listen to the episodes, but you can also press that subscribe button. And once you press that subscribe button, each and every time we upload an episode, it just goes straight to your pod feed, and there you are. You've got us right there. And it also helps. It helps the podcast get out there. It helps the podcast get known and be seen, and many more people find us. And I mean, I don't know why they would want to find us. The last episode was like 3 hours and 20 minutes long, which is mental. But yeah, so Do that. Subscribe to us. You can also rate and review. Give us the top marks. If you're on iTunes, give us the 5 stars. Even if you want to say something super nasty about us, like that Scottish guy's really cool, but the other guy's kind of monotone, which I am, by the way. Even if you want to say something like that, give me that 5 stars and I'll accept the criticism. I won't take it on board, but I will accept it. So yeah, give us the 5 stars. Whatever else you're reviewing us on, give us a cheeky little review. And if it's a nice enough review, we may even read it out. You can also find us on some cheeky networks that we love. These networks are amazing because they help everyone on them sort of help promote, produce, and just get out there, and we all get to meet awesome podcasters. We love them all. So yeah, we are on the Tangent Bound Network. Mr. Mark Bogner, wonderfully taking care of 1,000,002 podcasts over there. We are also on Wicked Radio Network. We are also on We Be Geeks, the Geeks Worldwide, the Nerdly, our British home, the nerdly.co.uk. We love Nerdly, we love Phil. Best place to be. However, we're on this awesomely cool. You'll have heard it. You'll have heard it on the last couple of episodes, the little intro, the Danger Entertainment. We are on Danger Entertainment. A lot of our buddies are on Danger Entertainment. The History of Bad Ideas, the Weird Science DC Comics, the Weird Science Marvel, the Jock and Nerd, Pittsburgh Nerd, Gotham Lights, Besotted Geek. They're all on there. We all try and help and promote each other, and we all get that job done because these guys are all awesome. The promo you will be hearing later on in this episode is the Danger Club. They are part of the Danger Entertainment. It's kind of like a D&D kind of thing, but with actors. I love it. I've been listening to it for the last 2 or 3 weeks. I love the podcast. They're also Brits, which makes it even better because Brits are best at everything. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much everywhere you can find us. You just get out there, type in 365 Flicks Podcast. We're on the Twitter, we're on the Facebooks, Instagram, 365. I'm not going to say it anymore. It does what it says on the tin. Couple of little bits of news. The National Film Awards have released their nominations for this year's awards, and we have got some good pals all up in there. I'm so excited to speak about some of these. So yeah, Tom Payton, one of 365 favourite guests, favourite directors. We love Tom Payton. He's awesome. His movie Black Site that we went down to the set to see last year. No, 2017, sorry, not 2018. Not the one where Chris face planted the floor on pure thin air. Not that one. That was the next one. But yeah, Black Site. It is up for Best Thriller at the NFAs. Now, Tom's already won an award at the NFAs. It was for Redwood, but we would love to see him do the 2-peat on Black Site. Massive congratulations to Tom and the team. George, you deserve that. Alvin, you deserve that. Mike, Sam, Bentley, Phoebe, Chris Johnson, you all absolutely deserve this. Black Site is a tremendous movie, and we can't wait for everyone to see it, which, by the way, released in March. Cannot wait for everyone to see this movie. We will be pimping out and making sure people get links and see it as much as possible. A movie that I reviewed a few episodes back, a little British movie, sort of like a zombie with kick-ass action in it. Redcon 1. This one, I love this movie. I spoke about this movie at great length on one of the podcasts. I also put a review up on the page, on the 365flixpodcast.co.uk. I put the review up there. The director got in touch with me after having read the review. We've been speaking a little bit. I'm going to chance my arm at getting him on, because I believe the film is released in February on physical. So Redcon 1 is up. It's nominated for Best Thriller. I'm sorry, mate, but I'm gonna be voting for Black Site in that category. But what I will do, Best Action and Best Screenplay. It's up for 3 awards, people. Action, Screenplay, Best Thriller. I'll be voting for the other 2. Dark Fable Media, one of their regular collaborators, Neal Ward, has a movie that is also up for an award at the NFAs. 2 Graves, up for Best Independent Film. I've seen Neal about. I've seen him in a couple of little bits and pieces. I really want to speak to Neal. He seems like such a cool-ass guy. Nice Brit actor, up and coming. He is, He does a lot of videos for Dark Fable Media. He's been in a few of their videos. He's obviously in this Two Graves, and he's also in 24 Little Hours by Paul Knight, and I am told he is damn good in that movie. So, best independent film for Two Graves. Give it a vote. Another movie, Craig Conway, one of our previous guests. We love Craig Conway. He's a local lad. He is the absolute nuts. We love him. His movie, Final Score, which we talked about on the episode that he was on, is also in the running for Best Thriller. See, now I'm torn. I've got 3 movies in this Best Thriller, but I'm going to call it now. I'm going to be voting for Black Site. Not that the other 2 movies aren't great. They are great, but it's Black Site. So yeah, Five Fingers for Marseilles. I spoke about this movie a little while ago. Again, another movie that I absolutely loved. It's up for Best Foreign Language. Great movie. Such a good movie. I didn't know any of the other films in that foreign language category, but Five Fingers absolutely 1,000,000% deserves a nomination, and it deserves a vote from all of you. So this thing, NFA, you can go to the NFA website, the National Film Awards website. You can vote for all of these films. The voting is open now. Get yourself to the page. Get on there, vote for all these things, vote for all these movies. Black Site, Red Corn 1, Two Graves, Final Score, Five Fingers for Marseille. These are all incredible independent movies. Vote for them. I'm so glad that all these guys have been nominated in these categories. Go Black Site is all I'm going to say. Go Black Site. 24 Little Hours. It looks like it's coming out the end of March on digital download and physical. Cannot wait to see that. We talk about it a little bit in this interview with Dark Fable Media. Also, we talk with Dark Fable Media about Homeless Ashes. Marc Zammits has told everyone he went live on, well, he didn't go live, but he put it out there on the Facebook that the movie is done. The movie is done now. It looks like it's going to be like an end of March. Everybody's going to get to see it. This has been a labour of love for this man. Marc Zammits, you've done it. You smashed it. Like 3 years of just sheer passion, drive, and determination. This movie's done. It looks incredible. I've seen the behind-the-scene videos. I've seen the stills. Mark showed us a little bit when we were down in London back in last July. It just looks incredible. I can't wait to see it. And from what I've been hearing on the grapevine, it's looking pretty bloody good. So yeah, I'm well up for seeing this. Mark has invited Chris and I down to see the movie and go for a curry. It's probably not going to happen for Chris because Chris is fussy as hell when it comes to his bait. So yeah, apparently we're going to go down and we're going to see the movie. We're going to do a podcast where we instantly react to the movie. We'll be getting some cameras up on the go. We might get some YouTube content out of it. And Homeless Ashes, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what we've got for the pimpage. Oh no, sorry, no. Oh no. There is another thing that came up today. Giles Alderson of the Filmmakers Podcast. We love the Filmmakers Podcast. They do a lot of sort of things that we do, only he goes a bit more into it because Giles is a director himself, and when he wants to probe his directors, his actors and all that, he knows exactly what he's talking about. They really go in, whereas we like to play, loosey-goosey with our interviews. We just want to get in there and we want to get those stories before they're not allowed to tell them anymore. But yeah, so Giles of the Filmmakers Podcast, Giles Alderson, has teamed up with Dom Lemoire and Matt Hookings and 3 other fantastic directors, producers to form a panel, and they're going to do some sessions on #MakeYourFilm. Basically, if you've got a movie idea and you want to make your movie, you go along to this thing. This thing costs like £7. It's on the 29th of January. Get yourself there. The wealth of knowledge and just they're going to be going through everything. I believe it's like a 4 to 5 hour, 6 hour session. This will be invaluable to any filmmakers out there who are up and coming but not quite sure where the next step is. These guys are going to give you that next step. They're going to show you exactly where you need to be going. They're going to tell you exactly what you need to know. And I cannot... This for me... I mean, if I lived in London, I would totally be there because the guys all know what they're doing. They all are fantastic dudes, and they're going to be giving up the goods. This is a must for anybody who has an idea and just wants to make their film. So yeah, hashtag make your film. 29th of January. It's selling like hotcakes. I believe they've already sold half of the tickets that went on sale, which is fantastic. Also, listen to the last episode of the last two episodes by the time this goes out, part 1 and part 2 of the latest Filmmakers podcast. Giles speaks to the one and only Neil Marshall. I've heard the first part. It's fantastic. Not heard the second part yet, but cannot wait. Yeah, man, well done, Giles. That is fantastic. So yeah, that's the pimp page. That's all that done. I've spoken for long enough. We're going to get into this interview. We're going to get into this chat. I loved talking with Adam, and I loved talking with Rich. We just had a little bit of a blast. These guys are paving away the blazing trail, if you will, on the YouTube. They are putting out content that is it's completely unlike what anybody else is doing. I likened it to the sort of the Robert Rodriguez 10-minute film schools that he used to put on the DVDs every time he released a movie. I used to love watching them. He would take like a scene and he would give you the anatomy of the scene, or he would take sort of VFX and show you how he did the VFX and the score, the editing. It was always fantastic. This is kind of what these guys are doing, but funnier, I guess. Just like much funnier. And then you even get a little movie at the end of it, which is fantastic. Like, I love these guys. Absolutely love these guys. They've coined the term sub-cry babies, and I'm pretty much trying to steal it. Yeah, this is a fantastic interview. I loved speaking to these two guys. I will be keeping an eye out for everything they do in the future. The movie they're currently about to go into production on, or they're in pre-production right now, is a movie called Hosts. Stars Neal Ward. Can't wait. These guys, just listen to what they have to say. I think you're going to love them. So yeah, Dark Fable Media, Adam Leader, Richard Oakes. Take it away.
Hi, it's Rich from D-Fable M.
Adam, Dark F Media.
First, you're going to need to learn how to film. You can either do this by going to film school and wasting 3 years of your sad, pathetic, lonely life, accumulating £40,000 of suicidal debt.
Or you could teach yourself all you need to know by going on YouTube and watching film tutorials like ours, but probably someone else's.
We started by making music videos for basically cashew nuts for new and emerging artists. This helped us build our very own showreel to showcase our new work.
Link below, don't watch it. Over the years, as we got less terrible, we'd upped our game and began getting interest from higher level bands and record labels such as EMI and Universal. This inflated our confidence.
We then used all the acquired skills that we learnt in music videos and transferred them into feature films.
What's it like doing like your recorded skits? Well, not skits, but your recorded videos for YouTube, and then doing like the Q&As? It's
very different. I'm sure. I mean, you'll be able to tell how different it is.
Yeah,
we can't be as on point live because it's not scripted.
It's tough.
Because we always, obviously we're a podcast, and we always talk about, will we try and do the recordings and break into the YouTube and sort of try and do the YouTube and that, and I'm like, you know what, we swear too much, our banter's too much, we can't go live. So far we've not done it yet, but it's a scary concept. It's a very scary concept.
Yeah.
So my hat's off to you guys for doing the Q&As, like, because I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
It is tough. Like
we've had some bad ones.
There was one in particular, man, and it wasn't our first one. It was like, I think it was like the fourth one we did, and we're like, right, we should probably go live. And Rich was like, yeah, or the other way around. One of us was like, we should do it. We're like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And then we went live, and everything just went wrong. And usually we'll try and stay for an hour, a good hour. I think it ended up being 20 minutes. Like Richard's kid, like one of them just walked in and just wouldn't leave.
Yeah, we're going to try and subtly be like, can't yell at my kids while I'm live.
It was a bad one. And I don't think anyone tuned in to that one either.
Yeah, and we were like, any questions? And there's no response. So we were like,
man.
Cool.
we did that on there was a format a while back. It was you remember Bebo from back in the day before Facebook?
Rings a bell.
It does
Rings a bell.
Rings a bell.
Well, they went away after selling Bebo, and they came back years later with a platform called Blab, and it was kind of like YouTube, but you had like 4 screens, so you could do like talking heads with your friends. So
cool.
We tried that for a little while. We did it with like The Walking Dead. As soon as it finished, we were going on, and we were like, those 3 of us kind of talking about the show and all that, and just having a go and everything. And the first couple, it was like, oh yeah, like there's nobody joining in, because there was like a little chat room at the side, and if you wanted, or if they wanted, you had that 4th screen, so any one of them could jump on with you as well. And it was like, oh, so if nobody wants to ask any questions, why don't one of these just jump on the other screen? And it's like, yeah, no takers. First of all, welcome to the show. Tonight on the show I have Richard Oakes and Adam Leader, the masterminds behind Dark Fable Media. How are you doing, guys?
Doing well, yeah, doing well.
Very well, Kevin. How you doing?
Not bad. You've just come off an hour and 20, an hour and 30 on a Q&A, so you guys will be more talked out than me.
Yeah.
Go.
It's all go tonight.
So yeah, I wanted to get you guys on because you've got some pretty cool projects coming up in the Dirge and hosts. But in the meantime, you are absolutely trying to take over the YouTube, so we'll get on and we'll talk about that a little bit in a moment. But before we do that, why don't you tell the good listeners, so it makes my job a lot easier and I don't have to worry about asking too many questions, who you are and how you got into this industry and what you're up to.
We kind of started, we started, how long ago now? 2012, what's that, 7? No.
7 years ago, wasn't it?
Was it 7? Yeah, 7 years ago now. So it was January 2012, I think, I started. I used to be a bin man and decided I wanted to do videos. And so I left my job and did music videos. I actually was like, oh, I'll do music videos for fun because I'll enjoy them, but my main bread and butter, because no one's going to pay for music videos off me, I'll do some wedding videos. So I saved up all my money, got some stuff together for a wedding fair, went there with this big TV, loads of rose petals everywhere, these DVDs laid out of stuff I've got. I shot my brother-in-law's wedding as an example, playing on the TV, and I was ready, paid a lot of money for it, and not one person came to the store. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I did a couple of music videos, and they just, I think by the 3rd music video, I was working with Universal Records. So it was
nice.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of alright. That's the best I could have hoped for, because weddings are super boring.
Yeah, I've had one. Yeah, it was. And so, like when you were training and learning your craft and all that, I'm guessing it was just learning as you went and figuring out as you go.
Yeah, it was that. I had no education in it. It was very much teaching myself and learning off of YouTube. Many mistakes, but I think that's the best way to learn, make mistakes. There was a post the other day on a cinematography forum with everyone laughing because someone had set up their light with the diffuser on the back.
Right.
Which would do nothing, and that's exactly how I set up my first lights. And I was laughing about that. So it was lots of learning by being chucked in the deep end.
It's the best way to learn, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was great, and it was nerve-wracking, but I've always liked working with friends. I'm a lot more confident when you've got someone to bounce off of, and I met Adam on a music video, actually. I was shooting his band, because Adam's in a band called In Search of Sun.
Yeah, I saw that. And, quite the front man here.
Oh, thanks, man.
He is, yeah. Do you want to talk about that time?
Okay, well, I guess that leads us to when me and Rich met. So my band had recorded our first album, and we just booked our first we booked a shoot for our first music video to be released off that album. I guess I should plug it. It's called The World Is Yours, and the band name is In Search of Sun. Go check it out. Anyway, so this was back in 2014, and Rich had been hired to come and shoot our video. I was a stress head because I was trying to obviously make sure everything was going to plan and went well and whatnot. So I turned up. We met Rich. Like, oh, hey man, nice to meet you. Like, hey man, I'm shooting a video today. That was kind of it. And Rich felt really awkward around me because he thought I hated him because I looked like this mean skinhead dude that like hated everyone apparently. And I do hate everyone, but not all the time. So anyway, he shot the video. We had a really good time. He made a kick-ass video for us. And after that, we went our separate ways. And then it was around the time that Rich had written the script and story for his like debut short film, which was called Exit Plan, and he was looking to cast it. So you put out like a little casting call, didn't you? And I messaged you saying,
yeah, I was so new to it all. Like I said, I've done always doing stuff myself. Never knew the right process, and I thought I'll just ask my mates if they want to do it and just put it out to the ether of Facebook, which is not the best way to do it.
No, it's the worst, really.
But that's how a lot of the independent guys are doing it. You know,
yeah, but normally two actors.
Yeah.
There's one actor in Exit Plan. Well, they are now. A couple of people went on to acting after that, but when we shot it, there wasn't a single actor in it. It was all friends who were in bands.
But it went well, man. It was cool. But yeah, he put the post out, and I've always wanted to act and make films. Hence why I'm doing what I'm doing now with Rich. Finally, because I've been so focused on the band for almost a decade. So I messaged Rich and I said, dude, like I really want to play this villain because I think you said I need a villain. So I said I really want to play this villain character, and Rich was like, all right, come and audition. So he invited me up to his house, drove there. No, I didn't. I went to Tesco car park because honestly, this is not a lie or an exaggeration. That's where all my ideas come from. So Tesco, yeah. Tesco.
I work for Tesco, so
you work for them.
I used to a while back, so I know how soul destroying that place can be for ideas.
I probably shouldn't say that every time I'm in there, I always eat stuff from the shelves, but that's it's a story for another
I wouldn't
day.
worry about it. I was a delivery driver, and I ate half the shopping, so.
Yeah, but so I literally did all the vocal ideas and stuff for both my band's albums in the car park, recording into a Mac in Tesco car park. So I went to the car park and recorded a just on my phone like a video take or a self tape to send to Rich, and Rich was like, yeah, this is cool, like come up to mine and let's film a test with you and AJ, the other actor, who's now gone on to do some really cool things. He's doing really well. We did it, and Rich was like, yeah, you got the job. And I guess to cut a long story short, we became like best friends, isn't it? Yeah. That's it, really. After that, we just became really close. And
I asked you to join Dark Fable.
Yeah.
And help me out on shoots, and we've been doing that ever since.
Yes.
And then last year, actually, about halfway through the year, we did a shoot for
Rob Chapman. He's
a popular guitarist and YouTuber. We were speaking to him, and I was like, I'd love to do YouTube, because I had a channel, but it was mainly like to upload work to show clients, so it was always unlisted. There was a couple of things I put up, like a couple of reviews of some gear. I thought might as well put it out there, but not a lot. And over 6 years, I think we got 700 subscribers. And yeah, it wasn't much there. And then we spoke to Rob, and he was like, you should do YouTube. And we're like, could do. What do you do? Isn't it really hard? And he was like, no, you just hold your iPhone up. And I'm like, I can't do that. I need it to have some quality. And so he was like, yeah, but you'll kill yourself if you try and make every video quality. And we're like,
and he was right.
He was 100% right. We're still doing it and breaking our backs.
But we love it.
And we've doubled our subscribers in 5 months.
Yeah.
And it's no surprise, because the quality you're putting out there is great. It's like the little reviews and the little breakdown tutorials and stuff like that you're doing are great. But like the little videos that you put on at the end as well, your little short movies, it's like you can go to most people's YouTube channels and they're going to sit there and they're going to talk about a film and say, the film's not that great and all that. But you're not getting a short movie of that quality at the end.
Well, this is why, we're so sick. I think you've just said as well. I think most people are sick of just seeing the same old formulaic videos and tutorials come out. And there's nothing wrong with that, if you want to learn something. But why not share your knowledge and do something crazy at the end?
Yeah.
Like, why not turn that into, why not make a short film out of it? And it is hard, like as Rich said, it's really hard, and it does take its toll on us, and we are probably going to die really young. But you know what? It's so fun, and we get to laugh every week. We get to have fun.
And I think every single week, the most common thing. There's two common things we say.
I know what you're going to say.
One is, "What are we doing?"
Yeah, what we're doing with our lives. We always say that to each other every week.
And the other one is kind of a similar one. Is like, "We're adults. What are we doing?"
Yeah, but it's great. I love the fact that, because everyone is just a kid on the inside.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you've just got a bigger body and a beard. Do you know what I mean? Everyone wants to be a kid.
Yeah.
So like, that's what we're doing. We're just going out and having fun.
And it's funny. I think there is, like, we laugh about, loads of people have said, like, we seem, the film forum guys, there seems to be a lot of them that have a lot of venom towards us, and we kind of embrace it. We love it.
I love it.
And they get so angry, and we did obviously an episode on that, of people getting just furious for no reason. It's like, all you have to do is not watch it, but you have to get furious.
I think that was one of my favourites, because that's when you coined the phrase "sub crybabies," which just absolutely.
You are a follower, aren't you?
that line, that one word, I was like, you know what? That just sums up Twitter trolls, YouTube trolls. It just sums them up. Because they will subscribe and they will watch, and then they will make shitty comments. It's just what they do.
It's funny, we've got one person, we're sure of it. We don't know who or anything, but as soon as our video goes out, there's a down like every week, without fail. So they must be subscribed. Oh, they must be. Do you know what I mean? So it's funny.
I love it so much. Like, we enjoy obviously we love getting positive comments, and it feels good and it's very flattering, but I absolutely love the negative comments. They're so good. They're so fun it's just wicked.
It's so fun to wind up. They're the ones, obviously, we normally have at the end. We find the negative comments of the week.
Yeah.
And say them, because they're just more fun.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. We've been doing the podcast for 4 years. Jesus, 4 years now. And,
oh, wow.
And every now and then you do get, like, we'll get like a really, really hateful, like, iTunes review or something like that, and we never really mention it on the podcast, so I'm kind of breaking down the curtain a little bit, but when we get it, I just sit there and I'm like, oh, we're doing so good. Somebody hates us. Somebody out there hates us.
That's exactly what we said.
Yeah, like, we've discussed it, and we're like, well, if you're getting ignored, and if you're not getting subscribers, if you're not getting comments, and if you're getting ignored all the time, then perhaps you're not doing something right.
Yeah.
And, but if you're getting love and hate, especially hate, then I think you're doing something right.
You're getting to people. I think that's the thing. And we always said we'd rather be a channel that divides people, because that's more of a recipe for success, I think, is the back and forth, the dialogue, the people going, I hate this because of this, and then other people kind of going, no, it's this. It's like loads of people have told us, you should stop doing this, you should do serious YouTube things. And it's like, well, if you want serious, there's every other film channel on YouTube.
Yeah, there's like a trillion other channels.
It's like, why? And the other thing, when we started, we looked a lot into it, and people said, if you want to do well, do something different. And everyone's saying, you should do the same as everyone else. It's like, no, we're doing something different. And it seems, I mean, we're not like big or anything like that. We've not got a massive, but it's growing reasonably steady at the moment.
And it continuously will as well.
It seems to be working, and we're happy with that. And the other thing that we've always been told and believe is to do what we love, and you'll find the right people that agree with you. Yeah. There's no point doing what someone else wants, because we won't enjoy that, and the channel will ultimately fail, because you'll just want to stop doing it.
And that's the thing, like, it comes across like, and I don't need to be a stranger to know that it does to know whether it comes across or not, because I feel, because we both feel it and we love doing it, it just comes across, and a lot of people say that to us, is that we bounce off each other so well, which I can see that, and I can feel that, and it's because we're doing what we want to do. We're not trying to tick certain boxes or hit certain criteria or do what the subscribabies want us to do. So it's funny, actually. I won't say his name because he's actually a pretty decent guy. Like, he's all right. But this guy left a comment yesterday. He said, "I know these guys mean well and they seem nice enough, but you can go too far with the zany thing. It's okay if your audience is 14, but ... So,
yeah, we've had a few comments say, this is great for like 12-year-olds, or this is great for 14-year-olds. It's funny because we actually went on our stats yesterday and posted it back to him as a response. And the stats show that our views, we've got 0 views by anyone under 15.
Yeah. and the majority, like the biggest fan demographic of ours is like 25 to 40-year-olds, isn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a great response.
It was a nice little in your face.
Yeah.
In the nicest way possible, obviously.
Yeah.
So that is the YouTube channel right now. You just mentioned a minute ago, and I do want to quickly mention it because I actually sat and watched it last night, was Exit Plan.
Cool.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man.
Terrible.
You know what? It's not terrible.
If you want to find hate on YouTube, go on Exit Plan, man.
I did have a look at the comments. There were a few nasty comments, but you know what?
They're all right as well. They're all correct.
The thing is, you can say screw you because I also saw 800,000 plus views, so you can say screw you to them. But Adam, you are a pretty good bad guy.
Thanks, man. You know what?
I kind of liked it when you were playing it sort of straight at points, and then you were just going zany, and I was just sitting there. I was like, this is great, because obviously I watch you in these videos, and I see like how you can you sometimes amplify yourself. But when I was watching that last night, I was sitting there. I was like, this is just great.
Last week's episode, we were saying, actually, this reminds us of Saul from Exit Plan.
Yeah.
When he's talking to the kids.
Yeah.
It felt similar.
I could see that.
I felt like it. And that Exit Plan in particular, because I've always wanted to act. Like, I'm not professionally trained. I'm not a great actor at all, but like, I've always wanted to do it. So when Rich gave me that part, I proper invested myself into it. And even though my dodgy South African accent is dodgy in the film, yeah, there you go. I still I really wanted. Fun, though. It was so much fun, and I at the time I had this. I used to work in this. My last job, and there was a South African woman who I worked with, really lovely lady and stuff, and we were friends, and I remember for about a month leading up to going to shoot the film with Rich, I'd be talking to her every day and trying to learn the South African accent and getting her to give me tips, and then
so it was a waste of time. Yeah,
it was a waste of time.
The thing is, it's not an easy accent.
It's not. It's not an easy accent. I can't.
Wrong.
Yeah.
that was Apu.
It's not an easy accent.
Yeah, you're going to get banned from Simpsons in a minute.
Banned from South Africa. But it was a fun part to play. I really enjoyed it. It was good playing a bad guy. Quite a theatrical bad guy. I think you wanted it to be quite theatrical in parts.
Yeah, I'm really all about that. I love zaniness, as I'm sure you can tell. Whatever we do, we like dark stuff, but I think that's kind of how the name came about, is we like dark and gritty, but there's the Fable side, which is kind of the fairy tale, kind of the slight tongue-in-cheek. The tongue's always firmly in cheek, even when we try and do stuff that's pure dark. And I think that's what you can expect from us with anything we make, I guess.
100%. Yeah.
Even if we try and make it really serious, there'll be elements of
there'll be something in
comedy in there that's even unsubtle, like black comedy we quite like.
Yeah.
Everybody likes a bit of black comedy. But we're talking about a bit dark and serious. There's another movie that you guys were both involved. I believe, Adam, you were involved in Homeless Ashes as well, yes?
Briefly, yeah. I came on for about a week as a focus puller.
Well, we've had Mark on the show before, and he talks very, very highly of Richard's DOPing skills and whatnot. He's kind of like, I mentioned that you guys were coming on, and he was like, oh yeah, you got to ask this, you got to ask that. I said, Mark, Mark,
he's a great guy.
I'll ask my own questions, thank you, Mark. But I wanted to ask him, because that movie was like a year and a bit in the making, kind of thing. Like that took quite a while to make. What's that like?
And the rest, I think. I mean, I think it was a year and a half before I even started, and then it's been a year and a half of working on it. I think because the way he did it was because he decided to self-fund and go the crowdfunding route. He was doing it in blocks, so he'd film a block, raise money, film a block, raise money. So there's big gaps between, whereas normally you'd go, right, we're shooting for 2 months and get it done. And it was my first proper feature film as DOP, because I'd always done music videos up until that point. I've always wanted to. The goal from the very beginning was always to move into film, but I always thought I'm going to need some background. I'm going to need to learn my craft, and music videos are a good way to do that. So branching across, it was tough because you've got to try and keep a continuity, and over a year and a half you can learn and change your style so much that how do you keep a film looking the same? And I hope we've kind of managed to keep that
vibe.
Yeah, that continuity with everything, but definitely learnt a lot along the way of shooting that, and then doing the opposite. Last year, in the middle of Homeless Ashes, shot a film called 24 Little Hours in 8 days.
8 days. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've had Paul on before as well.
Yeah.
So a year and a half, 3 years to 8 days. That's a bit mental. What's it like shooting a film in 8 days? Like
tiring.
An actual feature
tiring.
film.
I think we were doing 16, 17 hours and having to eat on the go.
Jeez.
So on a couple of days, we had one day where we finished early and I just collapsed and in my bed and had as much sleep as I possibly could, which was good because I was getting a bit ratty by that point. But it was good. It was a good experience. It was trial by fire. Do you know what I mean? A baptism of fire. And I think it's come out looking pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say you have had the screen and I've seen the trailer, and one thing I do want to say, and it comes across on your YouTube videos as well, and the behind the scenes things I've seen of Homeless Ashes. I haven't seen a great deal. Mark's shared a few things, and I've seen the trailer for 24 Little Hours, and that you have an eye for someone who's trained yourself. Your visual style is very it's visceral as hell. Like you got nice smooth colours in there. It all looks fantastic. So for someone who trained themselves, who were you picking from? Who were you taking from? Like, who sort of inspired you guys to film the way you film?
I think it's been a number of subconscious influences and some very conscious ones. A massive inspiration to me is David Fincher. Even though I think our styles are quite different, we use a lot of contrast and backlighting and shadows and silhouettes. And that's mainly what I like to take from Fincher, but he's a complete master that I would, be happy to be his T-boy. But yeah, so that kind of dark grittiness, but I like more colour than he does. His is normally very greeny, kind of very muted colours. Sometimes I really like that look, but I also really like kind of 80s neon colours, so
yeah, definitely.
Sometimes I'll mix those two in, and the logo.
I see the Stranger Things behind you, so
So those colours, the contrast of the orange and the blues. Loads of people are like, oh, it's teal and orange again. We hate teal and orange.
So we went to town on that for we shot a music video for a band called Shapes recently.
Nice.
And that was pure, the band, when they were talking initially about what they wanted, straight away they said, yeah, it needs to be a Stranger Things vibe, we want to be on bikes. And then after that, it's okay, let's do this, let's do that, and it just ended up being really colourful and 80s clothes.
Check that out.
Yeah, check it out. It's called Afterlife.
Afterlife by a band called Shapes, spelt with a V instead of an A, so
But that's what I mean, Mark had been telling me about Homeless Ashes, what it was all about and everything, and then when I finally saw a trailer, I was kind of like, this is like supposed to be like a super serious sort of like quite kind of dark story tale you're telling. But
Yeah.
it looks gorgeous, like just visually nice on the eyes, if you know what I mean. Is that
That's 'cause Rich is a genius.
is that
I think it's sorry, continue what you're saying because I might.
I was going to say, is that sucking up too much, or
Always, yeah. Yeah, I'm not very good with compliments. I like them, don't get me wrong, but I don't know how to respond. Yeah. Yeah, Homeless Ashes is an odd mix because there's really dark elements, but there's also really bright elements and really happy, kind of childlike elements in there as well. So it's combining those two so that you're not alienating either side of it. So for the gritty scenes, we kind of lit them more gritty, more muted colours, and then we've got some brighter, more colourful scenes for those emotions. So it's kind of feel like a little bit of a patchwork quilt of mixing those two contrasting elements.
Awesome. And you are also, there's another project that you're working on before we move on to your guys' projects, because we will. But you're working alongside Lance as well on Paratrooper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
is there anything you can tell me about that? Because he's kind of cagey on details with me, so...
he's cagey on details. Well, if he's cagey on details, I shouldn't be giving too much away.
Oh, no, he tells me everything. I mean, that was just...
So I got invited onto that. I worked with Lance on Homeless Ashes again.
Yeah.
He directed a couple of scenes on Homeless Ashes.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he directed some scenes with Fleming, which was cool. And so he liked working with me. I liked working with him. He liked the style. Then he did a short film, 2 short films, and he asked me to grade them because he liked the look of my grading. So I did that for him. And then he was like, actually, I'm doing this war film. I've just done the code for Patrick Ryder.
Yeah.
He liked the look of that. I really loved doing that. That was a fun project to do, actually.
You did like 4 short movies kind of back to back with Patrick, didn't you?
Was it 3 or 4?
It was like,
So I did The Doorman,
yeah.
Chimera.
I do know. I'm just going to see if you do.
I nearly forgot. Then we did In Flight,
Oh, yeah.
and then we did The Code. But yeah, that was good fun. Did another short film recently that's going to come out soon with Cheryl Neve.
Cheating
Charlie.
Yeah.
Really happy with that. That's probably... I've rarely come away proud from a project, and do you know what I mean?
That does look stunning.
And I was just so happy with what Cheryl brought me to film. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of the time you turn up and they're like, here's this white room, make it look cinematic. And you're like, But Cheryl really knew, like, she brought like classic cars, classic buildings, all this ornate stuff that's just beautiful to film. And lots of people don't realise that there's more to making something cinematic than what camera you're using. A lot of the time it's the same in most things. You put crap in, you get crap out. So yeah, she did a great job with that. So going back to Lance, so then Lance we did in September. He asked me to come on board to shoot technically the pilot and the trailer. So we shot one day, can't remember the name of the place, with some tanks and stuff. That was cool. Nice. Then we drove over to Holland.
Nice.
I think so. My geography's bad. Yeah, Holland. And then we shot 2 days there, and then came home. But on the way home, the van broke, so we had to stay an extra day. And then we shot another day back up the original place. So we've done 4 days on that, which has been great, and I'm really happy with how that's looking as well. But yeah, I don't know what's next on that. I guess it's down to...
I keep an eye on Paratrooper because we've had Lance on before. He came on a while back to talk about Pegasus Bridge, which is kind of stalled. So I do keep an eye on Paratrooper, and I'm quite excited to see what's going on there. So
yeah,
I like all that that era type, those type shows like Band Brothers type things. But
I enjoy shooting them.
It's always fun watching people play soldiers.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
did
say,
with live action explosions and stuff.
Like
I
you
know
say,
that's
tanks.
something really fun about that. Yeah.
but the both of you have all these different things going on: the music videos, the YouTube, the odd films that you're making as well. But you've got your own projects, and that's really why we're here to talk about the Dirge. What's happening with the Dirge? What can you tell us about this?
Dirge is in the early stages of pre-production. It's a substantially higher budget than Hosts, which is our other film, which is why that needs more time and careful planning.
Yeah.
Not that Hosts hasn't been carefully planned, but there's just a lot more, I guess, criteria to
It's a
to
lot
hit, and
grander
there's a lot-
scale.
It's a grander scale, and there's so much more work that needs to be done. But the script is finished, it's finalised, and there is some potential interest from certain people, but certain things have to be done. Need to finish casting it as well. So there's that. I guess, even though we are working on it, it's technically on the back burner for the moment, whilst we get out our first feature film, which is Hosts, which has just been funded, or is just about to be funded, and we're going out and shooting that
So
in March.
you have the fund for that already?
We are about to.
About to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been agreed, but nothing's in writing set in stone
but-
until it's set in stone.
Yeah.
You know. So it's. I mean, the day after that live stream we did, we got some great confirmation off a couple of people to do with the post side of things and how we go about selling it and things like that, which helped to make getting investment a lot easier. And so we're, fingers crossed, next week should have all the funding in, and we're in the, we're well into pre-production now.
Yeah, it's well, that's actually one of the other things on the agenda before I head home tomorrow night. A couple of things to tweak in the script, which is quite exciting because they're even better than what the script currently is. And the script, in my opinion, I think in everyone's opinion on the team, is really good. Everyone really likes it. But the things that me and Rich were brainstorming last night, I can't wait to put them in. So we've got that to finalise after we've edited tonight's episode, or next Friday's episode, which we've edited tonight. And then, I guess the final version of the script will go out to the current cast that we have on board, and everyone starts rehearsing. Really, it's going to get very busy, I reckon, from the end of next week. It's going to be 2 months,
All hands on deck.
non-stop. But we're excited. We can't wait.
But we would, again, if you want to follow the progress of that, we will be having updates on the YouTube channel. We're going to be hopefully having some behind the scenes as we go, interviews with the cast, crew, all those types of things. There's a couple of other ideas we've got, but we don't want to talk about them yet. But it should all be good, and we want to take everyone with us that's been gracious enough to follow us on the channel.
Yeah.
And we think what's better way to learn is the way we learn, which is come on set with us via the medium of YouTube and learn that way.
So you're doing very different things with the YouTube, but you've got very clear ideas of other different things you want to do as well, which is great, because there's a lot of people I watch on YouTube that, I don't know why I still watch them, because they've been the same for the last 2 or 3 years, and it's you've never changed. Whereas that's kind of what I like about you guys. I was trying to sell it to one of the lads I work with, because he's into all this kind of thing as well, like the independent movies and how things are getting made and everything. He listens to this podcast, so he's always asking us questions and everything. I was trying to sell your channel to him, and I was basically saying, remember back in the day whenever Robert Rodriguez used to release a DVD and he would put the 10-minute film school on it?
Yeah.
I'm it's kind of like that, but way more fun. Because you genuinely have a laugh while you're doing it as well. So he straight away went away and came in the next day. He's like, I've been watching them. He's like, they're great. But it's
his Troublemaker Studios. I used to watch all the stuff on that. It was my dream to have his studio. Loved it.
But you need to freshen things up all the time, is what I'm saying. And with the set visit, you guys filming things on set and putting it on YouTube, that would be pretty That would be pretty cool as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Well, we kind of see both kind of go hand in hand. We've got, obviously, the filmmaking career and the music videos and stuff, which is what we do for a living. We don't make any money off of YouTube at the moment. And then you've got the YouTube stuff that's builds off the back of that. And then, maybe one day we'll have enough subs and stuff to kind of help push our films. Do you know what I mean? So hoping that it will kind of work hand in hand in tandem and not one kind of encroach on the other too much.
Yeah, and I think for us, I guess first and foremost is that is it all your fingers? No, it's as many fingers in as many pies as possible, right? So I think for us, no matter how many fingers we've got in how many different pies, as long as all those pies are things that we enjoy doing, that's the most important thing to us. So,
yeah, we can't have tediousness. I can't do everyday jobs. I've never been able to.
It's tough.
If I don't love doing it, I'm not going to do it. That's the way I've always been, I guess. And last time I did something I didn't want to do was being a bin man, and I was just hated.
Made you want to throw yourself in the bin.
Yeah.
Yeah. We it's important to us that whatever we do, we get 110% enjoyment out of it, because that way we'll put 110% into it. And that's it really. As long as we get to laugh, which we do.
Well, I noticed you on the last video as well that I think you released yesterday. You even left a couple of bloopers in.
Yeah, we started doing that a little bit occasionally, just because it wasn't meant to happen. But
it started as a bit of banter between me and Adam, which is normally how it does, because we kind of take it in turns of editing. So the first time I edited was the first time there was bloopers, and I was like, Adam stumbled because he was like, he likes, when we're cutting, he doesn't want it to be evident, so he holds his pose,
right,
and then he looks to the side where our notes are on the laptop, and he's like, and goes through the lines. So I was like, I'm going to put that line in instead because it looks so awkward.
Yeah.
And then the next week, Adam was in charge of editing, and that's when he put just loads of shots of me eating crisps while he went to the toilet, and he just put it in the episode, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to let you do what you want. And then the next week, again, I put some of him in, and it's become a thing now.
I think it's fun, especially because it's YouTube, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Obviously, at the end of a TV show or the end of a film, it will show the bloopers. But because it's YouTube, you can literally, it seems to work with our videos. Anyway, you can literally just put bloopers before the actual... The right take comes up, and it's funny. It's funny. It makes us.
It does add to it. It adds it sort of shows that there's a lot of chemistry between you, because there's a few times when there's been a little bit of a blooper, and whoever does the blooper, you kind of have the other one, Adam or Richard, kind of sitting there giggling, unable to contain himself, and that's when I'm like, yeah, that wasn't meant to happen.
Yeah, it's funny. We've literally finished editing the dialogue for next Friday's episode last night, and there's one in there. I think it's me that messed up this one.
Yeah. It's funny because last week you were like, you edited me just getting it all wrong, and then you were like, "Oh, you said my line, but about me getting it wrong."
About you getting lines wrong. There are plenty of other actors that could remember lines better than Rich.
I'm the worst at remembering the lines. I'm awful. But the other thing I think it adds is we were a little concerned at first when we started doing it that, you have your YouTube personalities, and it's always larger than life, and that was one thing we were worried about with the lives is, are we going to come across different, because we can't pull that off in reality without lots of takes. Do you know what I mean? And that high kind of energy. And then we were like, but does that come across like a bit too plastic? Like some people are like, yeah, it's a bit like a kid's show. So I think the bloopers kind of just anchor it a bit to earth. Do you know what I mean? Brings a bit of humanity back to the kind of the massive cheesy grins and all that kind of thing. But we like the energy because... Oh, you should watch. No, if you watch our first episode, you'll see where we came from, and if people want that, there's no way. It was the most dull,
horrific,
boring,
terrible,
unenergetic episode ever made.
Yeah.
And we swore from that episode on we'd never do it, but we left it there.
Yeah.
So you can still watch it. It's awful.
Isn't it funny how we do that? Because like the same as what you're saying there. When we first started the podcast, our first ever episode was atrocious. The sound was terrible. The back and forth between us was terrible. Just wasn't working. We were both sober. And I uploaded the episode, and I said, right, once we get to like 10, 12 episodes, I'm deleting that. That's going. And it's still there. It's still there. You always end up leaving it on because you want people to see how you started.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but it's a known thing, isn't it? Everyone knows that your first video is going to be terrible.
Yeah. The funny thing is that after we edited it together, we couldn't stop laughing. We were like, "Oh my god, this is so good!" I was so excited.
It's hindsight.
It's the shittest thing ever, man. It's so funny.
So, hi, I'm Rich from Dark Fable Media.
I love it. It's so funny.
And the lighting's awful. Everything's awful.
Everything's horrific. But I don't think I'd want to take that down, to be honest.
You've got to leave it up. You've got to leave it there.
Yeah, it's funny because that was the episode after we spoke to Rob Chapman. He was like, "You can do it, yeah." Because he's a really big. How many subs has he got? 700,000.
Almost, yeah, close to 1 million.
Yeah, and he's doing well, and he was like, "Yeah, you can do it. This, that." And he was like, "Any help you need, let us know. And, I'll give you advice and stuff." We did the episode, sent it to him, and he
got nothing.
He never spoke to us again. It was like, okay, maybe we should try something else.
Yeah.
So when do you guys go? I think you actually said it on the video tonight, on the Q&A tonight. But when do you guys go into the filming stage of hosts?
At the moment, the dates in the calendar are pretty much the first 2 weeks of March.
Nice.
And that is provided everything that is on schedule to go to plan in the next week or two does go to plan, in which case, yeah, it'll be within the first 2 weeks of March. That will also be, talking of 24 little hours being an 8-day shoot, this is looking likely to be an 8-day shoot, so it's going to be very, it's going to be very full on. But yeah, so the first 2 weeks of March, like I said, I guess that'll probably get confirmed by the end of next week or the week after, in which case we'll probably let the followers and you and anyone else who's interested know that.
There's still a few things to confirm before we can completely say that the dates are set.
Yeah.
Well, anything I see, I'll post that up on our Facebook and Twitter and everything as well. As much as we can help, we'll. I'm not saying we'll change your world, but we'll try. and you have the wonderful Neal Ward in hosts.
Oh yes.
Yes, who's appeared in probably some of my favourite videos of yours. The Curly's episode was. I was saying for a couple of days after that, I was like, "Yeah, you got the Curly's, man," and people at work were just like, "What are you on about?" I was like, "Nothing."
Got bare curlies for you.
It's kind of, I love it in the video how he's at the start he's kind of playing it up like he wants to be taken as a serious actor and all this, and then you guys are like, "Oh shit."
Yeah,
because if you know Neal, he does do a lot of gangster stuff, so we like to rip in a bit.
Yeah,
and I don't think we ever have a guest on that we allow to like us.
Yeah,
that's the other thing, that if anyone comes on, it's kind of a given that they're going to hate us. So
yeah,
that's kind of part and parcel of it.
And I think that will probably, we could safely say that it's always going to be that way, no matter who comes on.
Yeah,
or how many guests we have in the entirety of our career.
I guess because it's kind of a little bit like Between Two Pines. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you just meant to hate the people, like whoever comes on is meant to hate the host, and we kind of like that.
Yeah,
we like people taking it too serious.
Look at Martin Bashir on Channel 4. He's been doing it with everyone, so everyone hates him now. So it's working for his career apparently. So anyway, as you guys said, you have some severe editing to do. You're off to do your video for next Friday, because these guys, by the way, listeners, these guys put out a video every Friday. Sometimes you get more than one video a week. Over the Christmas and New Year, we got a couple of extra videos, which was pretty damn cool. The Christmas short was excellent. The Turk, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was delicious.
that did absolutely crack me up. I don't know what you were doing with that banana and the string, but Jesus.
Is that not what people do at Christmas? I thought that was quite a common hobby.
Yeah.
I've not seen anyone do it. I was just sat there watching the video going, what the hell is he doing?
Good.
But I suppose it just adds to the video for me. But every Friday on the YouTube, Dark Fable Media, check out the Facebook and Twitter. Actually, I'll tell you what, you guys do your pimpage because it makes it easier again for me.
Okay. So, YouTube, it's Dark Fable Media.
Yep.
Simple. Facebook, it's Dark Fable Media. Instagram, it's Guess Dark Fable Media. And Twitter is Dark Fable Media. So everything is Dark Fable Media. Hit us up, follow us on, I guess first and foremost, it would be wonderful if any listeners could subscribe to us on YouTube, check our stuff out.
Subscribe to PewDiePie.
And subscribe to PewDiePie as well. Yeah.
Is that still a thing? Are we still trying to keep him top?
I guess so.
He's still a million ahead. We could probably give it some slack for a bit. We were just listening to the song again before you phoned. I love it.
Which song's this? Sorry.
It's Lasagna.
All right, no, I've not.
Check it out. It's a good song. It's PewDiePie's diss song of T-Series. I like it.
Nice.
But yeah.
So we're gonna call it a day there, and I'm gonna let you boys go and edit your video for next week because I don't want to delay that, as I would also like to watch it as well.
Cool, man.
Good luck with any music videos you have coming up, and I'll be keeping an eye on yous. And this has been fun because everybody's been telling me we have a few guests that you guys know, and I've been pretty much getting told, yeah, you need to speak to these guys, and I'm like, yeah, I'll watch their videos, leave me alone.
It's been a pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure. It's been a great opportunity coming on to the show, so thank you.
Yeah, so thanks for having us, man.
And I was definitely at some point going to bring up Saul, because that is some that's some Daniel Day-Lewis acting right there.
My head's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right,
thanks.
I'm gonna let you go. Again, good luck with everything. Good luck with hosts, and I'll be keeping an eye on it.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Kevin. We'll
thank you very much.
keep in touch. Talk to you soon.
I certainly will.
See you later. Bye.
Oh, that's made my day.
In a world of heroes, villains, 6 British actors will come together to play Pathfinder. It's sort of like D&D, but also really not like D&D. Join Fulton.
I immediately regret this decision.
Karagor.
Oh, I see you, Kenneth.
Velda.
Behold my arcane powers.
Shania.
Yes, I've cracked the case.
M.
Now I'll kill him.
And the Dungeon Master, for an actual play podcast that takes adventure seriously. Available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and from DangerClubPodcast.com. Danger Club, let's roll. God, doing that voice hurts.
What more can I say? So thank you to Richard and thank you to Adam for the interview. The interview was fantastic. I really enjoyed this episode. It was different. I did it by myself. I feel like I'm holding my own when it comes to by myself. But to pull back the curtain a little bit, I did have like a list of questions in front of me when I was going through, sort of like, I like to prepare these things. Me and Chris always prepare our interviews. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I won't lie to you, they kind of just went out the window, because every time they started talking about something, I would say, oh yeah, bring that up, yeah, talk about that. So yeah, man, keep an eye out for all the projects that these guys are involved in, the music videos that they have on the go, the short films that they have on the go, the feature films that they have that they're doing for other people, the feature films that they're doing for themselves. They are very, very, very extremely busy right now. Get yourself onto the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Dark Fable Media, Facebook, Twitter, do it all. Find Richard, find Adam, bug the hell out of them, ask them to be in their next short movie. Just get it done. I think these guys have a bright, promising future ahead of them. And to be honest, everybody I've spoken to, everybody that's worked with them, and I kind of got in touch with a few guys before we did the interview. Nobody has a bad word to say about these guys. Everybody just, nothing but professionalism, nothing but passion, nothing but drive. These guys are going to go far, and hopefully we'll be able to ride their coattails of fame. No, I'm not saying that. If you're listening, I hope you are listening. I hope you're still here, because the intro was a bit much. But if you're listening, I can't wait to see what you do next. I think Hosts is going to be something else for people to watch, because their visual style that they have, you see it in their YouTube videos, but the visual style that these guys have is like nothing I've seen on the independent scene. Like, there are some fantastic cinematographers out there, some fantastic DOPs, but the way these guys are filming, like, I think it's incredible. Homeless Ashes looks incredible. It doesn't really look like much of an independent film. It looks incredible. So, yeah, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Of course, at the NFA Awards, the National Film Awards, get to that website, NFA, just type it in Google's, you'll find it. Vote for all of those guys, especially Blacksite, but vote for all of the guys that I spoke about, Redcon 1, Two Graves, everyone on that list, vote for them all. Let's get some proper independent British guys winning these awards, because they are making the movies that are standing tall, they're standing out, they're just doing great. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. We will be back for another indie talk shortly. The Stairs episodes are still incoming. We've done 3 or 4 interviews now. We're about to do the next one. I will be releasing the first episode shortly. There's probably going to be 3 episodes, maybe 4. I'll try not to make it too many. But the first Stairs episode is incoming. It's half edited. You're going to love these episodes. These interviews are just... Stairs by Tom Payton is a movie that we can't get behind enough. So, yeah, we're all about it. We're all for it. I'm going to sign out now. I'm going to go, and I'm going to let you get on. Next episode will be me and Chris on a regular schmegular. There will be indie talks coming in. We've got some interesting projects coming up. We've got some great interviews coming up. I guess all that's left to say is peace out.
What the do you think you're playing at, yeah? Get me all the way down here onto your popsy shitty little YouTube channel and subscribe!
Yeah, but we